Peace and assalamu alaikum, everybody. So I put this off for a couple of days to kind of calm down, but I just told the story to my daughter, so I'm hyped up again, so it didn't really work. But so I mentioned once that there's I have a couple of things in the works business wise. So I took this class to become a CPR instructor. And let me tell you, I'm not going to mention a company just because I'm not putting it on the company. It's just a butthole instructor, you know. So I don't think it's the company. If I find out anything bad about the company, then I'll let you know who the company is so you can steer clear of it if you too would like to become a CPR instructor. So, child, this cat, this dude was such a butthole, and I'm gonna try not to cuss. He was such a butthole. He was severely, extremely incompetent. First of all, I was the first one that got to class because I had to drive a really long way to get there. So I was the first one in class. And I was there, I'll say at least 15 minutes, maybe 15 to 20 minutes before anyone else came. There ended up being 5 women, 3 black, 2 white. So I don't know if that means anything, we'll see. But so I'm there by myself with him, and he immediately starts trying to recruit me into his training center. Firstly, you do not have to be affiliated with a training center. And secondly, you can become your own training center if you want to. So he starts hitting me with this whole, I need to be down with his training center and all this. And so I'm like listening to him because maybe I'll learn something, I don't know. But I said to him, like, well, I'm going to start my own training center. And he's like, you can't do that. You don't know anything about this. You don't know anything about, any of this, whatever. I said, well, I'm a nurse. And he's like, well, yeah, but you don't know anything about teaching. You can't teach. I said, I used to be a teacher. Oh, well, you don't know anything about this. You don't know how to teach this. You know what I mean? I've been taking CPR classes for, 20 years? Been taking CPR classes for 20 years. I work in healthcare I've been working in healthcare for about 10 or 11 years. And I used to teach for years too. Have my own school. So I'm just like, and I was self-employed, had my own businesses for like 15 years. So I was just like, all right, this nigga bugging, narcissistic, whatever. So it's just going on. So then finally the other women start, trickling in. And he says to them, he starts with the same thing. Now we're here to learn how to be trainers or whatever, right? Trainers specifically. And it costs almost $500. As soon as they come in, same thing. He starts talking to them about how they need to be part of his training center, because what if somebody, like, all these fear tactics, and I do not do well with fear tactics, honey. So all these fear tactics, little things, he's saying, like, what if somebody tries to sue you? What are you going to do? You don't have any experience with teaching. You need somebody to, like, guide you and teach you. You need, again, he didn't ask them if they had any experience in teaching or anything else. So, like, how do you know? And so, he's like, insurance is, like, so expensive. What are you going to do about insurance? Insurance is not expensive. With CMF, the CMF group is less than $300 a year for general liability and professional liability, $1 million a year for Pennsylvania, where I checked. But you can go in here and check wherever. And I like CMF because I had CMF before for my doula business years ago, like in the early 2000s. And then I've been planning on getting them for like nursing liability insurance, which is like, I think I think it's like $101 for the whole year or something like that. Like, they're extremely affordable. So if you're ever looking for anything within health, let me digress for a minute. Anything with health, if you're looking for insurance for yourself as an individual or like as a business entity, check out CMF Group. I really like them. Very affordable. Anyway, moving on. So he's just saying all this stuff, and you know, oh, the other thing before they came in, I asked him like, well, like, what are the fees and stuff that you charge to be part of your training center? He's like, oh, it only costs $20 for the application fee, and that doesn't even go to me and all this stuff. So I'm asking him like, okay, what are the additional fees? He just like keeps going on, no, it's just $20. And I'm not no asshole, you know what I'm saying? Sorry, I said I wasn't cuss. I'm no butthole. I'm not stupid. One, why you coming for me like this, trying to get me to be part of your center if you're getting nothing out of it? And if you're offering all this service, all these services, how you're just doing it for nothing? I'm not dumb, okay? So whatever. So again, the girls are there, and he's starting back up with this whole thing. And what's irritating me, I guess why I mentioned the other black woman there, I'm a little irritated because they seem to be sucking his stuff up like, oh, we never thought about that. And like, oh yeah, you're right. Like when he's saying about the insurance being high, you're right. I'm looking at them like, sis, like, did you even look into any of this? I was just like, but I'm on the other side of the table and we got on masks. And that's the other thing. He's like, you know, you don't have to wear a mask. We're in a little room. There's no distancing or anything. You don't have to wear a mask. You tripping. So like all black women, we were like, mask. So woo, Lord have mercy, that man was getting on my nerves. And it was, we were there for hours. The class was supposed to start at 8 a.m. and go till 5. But he was like, you know, we're going to be out of here at least by 3 o'clock. And we ended up finishing at 2:30. So, but when I tell you, for the first 50 minutes, he was straight trying to sell us on joining his training center, / trying to go in on me, / saying all these stories about how everybody did him wrong, because he apparently has some sort of vendetta against anybody in healthcare, or like firefighters, police officers, nurses, EMTs. He don't like none of us because he's like, you know, they always come in here asking all these questions because they work in it. Like, you don't teach it. I've been doing this for 30. So you tell me, who has more experience? The person that's in the classroom teaching, talking ish, or the people who really out there on the field, hands-on, handling stuff? So he just for like a whole 50 minutes. And the reason he started going in on me is because, again, he kept reiterating to the women, oh, it's only $20 for the application fee, and I don't get anything out of it. So one of the women said something pertaining to the fee. I was like, okay, before you start, since she mentioned that, I want to ask, what additional fees? Still trying to get at this. And also, I'm trying to let these women who eating up all his bull stuff, I want them to like listen, like, bro, y'all don't really think that he giving y'all something for nothing, right? So I asked him again, like, you know, what other fees are included, or like how much do we have to pay you? Oh, like I said, it's only $20 application fee. And I'm like, I get that, but don't try to make it lighthearted, because he obviously, to me, it seemed obvious that he has a hugely inflated ego. So I try to make it lighthearted, and I said, you know, okay, I get that, but I know you're not gonna let us become part of your training center just because we're cute. So what else is there? And you know, he kind of laughed it off, and he's like, yeah, but you know, like, I'm trying to help you all and blah blah blah. And I said, okay. So he's like, well, I can't be everywhere. So like, saying if I can get up enough people for a class in, like, you know, another state where he isn't in, then instead of him having to worry about getting there, he'll just use one of us. And so I'm like, okay, so do we split the money with you? And then finally, like, he's seeming like agitated and everything to me. And I don't think it's only me, because everybody's mad quiet and they keep looking at me like, oh shit, you know what I mean? I ain't the one. I don't shut up when you trying to play folks. But so finally he's like, well, yeah, we'll like split the money. Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Now he's pissed at me, and he looks to the class and he's like, see, nurses and EMTs, they're always the problem. And now he just starts going. I was like so pissed off. I was like texting my friend back and forth and all kinds of stuff. And so that like just did it. He was just going in. And finally he starts moving to teach the class. He did not use any of the videos, because he says that the videos were no good, that they weren't going to teach him anything of what he could teach us on his own. So he didn't use any of the videos. He we paid $500 for a basic ass CPR class. Like, seriously, I've been taking CPR classes for a very long time, like I said, because you know, me working as a doula back in the day, and or you know, starting my doula company back in the day, I had to take it, or well, I chose to take it. What else? You know, me being a nurse, so we have to take BLS and all that kind of things, so we know infant and adult CPR, first aid, all that kind of good stuff, AD, all that, everything that he taught. And he didn't even teach child and infant. He was like, it's basically the same as adult, except you just turn your hands a little bit sometimes, different hand position. I swear to you, that's what he did and what he said. And so, you know, he's like talking on and on, like off and on. And then he even goes to say, at one point he started talking about, you know, helping somebody outside if they are in distress. So I said, well, is it, because there were one or two other things that he was like, oh, they don't do that anymore. I just got renewed. My CPR BLS was just renewed in, I think, October or November. So it's news to me that things have changed, but whatever. So I said, I'm sorry, I know this keeps moving. So I asked him, I was trying to ask him, is it still law that you have to ask permission from a person before you can actually help them? So first he's like, he gets a little like spatty or whatever. He's like, just save that until I get to choking. Then he's like, well, you know what, go ahead and ask. So I said, no, you know, that's okay. He's like, no, go ahead and ask. So I asked him that question, and he's like, yeah, just wait until I get to choking. Then he turns to the class and he's like, they always have like 18 questions that they want to, nigga, what? You know what I mean? So it was just that kind of stuff. And he was like, I remember again, the two black women, I don't know if I said this already, they were the only other ones who wanted to have their own business. The other two women, they were there for their jobs. Their company sent them. And so they were expressing to him about, you know, doing their own company, how they wanted to do it and everything. But they already have a company, something that has to do with healthcare, and they want to include CPR training within their, you know, as part of their services. You know, this mofo was going to say, he's like, but like, I guess at this point he's just upset, like, y'all are not getting it, you know, like, and what I'm saying. So he's like, you just, how are you gonna do that when you're not even an instructor yet? Like, you have no experience. It takes years to do this. You know that movie Dumb and Dumber? This is who you are right now. You all are. Swear to wallahi, that's what the nigga said. That's what this cat said. And so I was just like, what? So it was like hours of this type of ish. And he finally like calmed down or whatever and stopped just being so obnoxious. But we still weren't learning anything. If the company, if this CPR company knew how this guy trashes their program they will probably be quite upset, okay? Quite upset. It's ridiculous. And so at the ends of all of this, we had to do our like little demos or whatever. We had to do 2 little simple ass demos that you would do in any CPR class again. And we do those, and he's like, okay, now it's time for you to evaluate me. And he just sit there looking at us, and we're like, her? So one of the women was like, you mean like right here, orally for you? So he's like, yeah. And so another woman was like, well, I thought it said that we have to go online to do our evaluations online. And he's like, no. Like, you know, I think he started saying something about how like evaluations help him because people don't want to tell him anything. So evaluations help him to better his thing or whatever. This ain't how you do evaluations. Anybody who has taken any type of course or anything knows at the end of it, you're given a paper eval sheet. Sometimes, like in college programs and stuff, the instructors or the teachers have to even leave the room while you do your evaluation. That, you know, the students collect it, put it in a manila envelope, and that's that. You don't have to tell the evaluator or the instructor what you thought of their class, whether you liked it or whether you didn't, because that's like, so now I'm going to tell you that you're shit with your class, knowing that I can't get my certification that I paid $500 for it almost, because you're pissed off that I told you suck. So now you're going to fail me and everything. It's crazy. Do you hear me? But I'm just hoping that I can get my thing, and then I'm going to handle things on my own, inshallah. Because I ain't the one. I ain't no slouch type chick, you know what I'm saying? That was I've never experienced anything like that. Like right in my face. It's so crazy, and I'm dying to know what the other women thought about this whole thing, because like I said, they seemed like they were eating that crap up, and I'm just looking at them like where y'all from? You ain't never met no little shiesty ass cat that's trying to get, you know, fast talk you and get out of you what they want? Like, that was just the weirdest thing to me. But anyway, I had to share that because I am still fuming, as you can probably tell. Peace. Hey y'all, here is a belated update on the situation. So remember when I said I wonder how the other women felt? So maybe like, I don't know, a week or two after the class, the agent or the rep that I was dealing with the actual company, he called me because, you know, they let me know that I got my certification, blah, 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 blah. And so he called just to like check up on me, see how I was doing, and to see how the class was for me. So first I was just gonna like go on ahead with the niceties because I was still livid, but I was really like, I don't care. I don't have to see this cat no more. So whatever. That's what I almost did. But when I opened my mouth to say it, my real self was like, stop. Because I'm not the type, I don't like all that arguing and all that kind of stuff. But more than anything, I hate when somebody tries to take advantage of someone or try to play someone and all that kind of thing. I got that Mohawk blood. I ain't down with it, no. But anyway, so, like I said, I opened my mouth to say that, the nice girl thing to say. And I said, well, first of all, that instructor was trash, right? And before I could say anything else, he said, I was waiting for you to call me to tell me that because all the other women in the class called and they complained. Those are my girls. I don't even know them like that. But all of the other women calls, complained. They told him like everything, even stuff that I didn't mention in the first part of this video, that I just forgot to say or whatever because I was so upset. But he had like made sexual innuendos and all kind of things. This guy was just trash. Like I said, I don't know what else to say without being, cussing. But so I told him, and he said, listen, my supervisor wants to, I don't know if it was that call, if he called me back, but he said, I think it was that call. He said that his supervisor wanted all of us, if we would write down in detail what our perspective of the class was, the things that the guy was saying and all that kind of stuff. And honey, mashallah, I had my day. I for sure enough did tell him everything. And I don't know what happened since then, because that was in July. This is now November. But so what, 4 months ago. And I've been focusing on work and school right now. So I haven't, even though I'm actually on my way now to go and file for this LLC, inshallah. But I just haven't been involved like that. So I don't even know. They may have tried to contact me through email. I try every now and again to see, if I have anything from them. I haven't seen anything yet, and they haven't left me any calls. So it's only 4 months. Maybe they're still investigating. I don't know. But when I tell you, they were hot to death. And when they found out, like, how he, like, going in on a company, like, how you work for a company, like, granted, he's an independent contractor, but it's still through this company. And so, how you talking smack? How you talking smack about it? How are you, like, making new CPR instructors for this company if you don't like it so much? That guy, I have met so many types of raggedy people in my life, but that dude, honey, I don't know what his problem is. He must just have a miserable life or something, because it was just crazy. But that's my update. I and the other women had our say, and I'm gonna just give it to the creator from there. Like, what else is there to do? Peace.